The man in the red tie was waiting on my doorstep when I got back from my shift at the warehouse. My last shift. My entire crew had been laid off without warning. I was numb, caught between the relief of leaving that soul-sucking place and the terror of next month's rent. I almost walked right over him. "Benjamin Alexander Hearn?" he asked. I told him just Ben was fine. He was Osgood Mosby, a solicitor. He had a message regarding the final testament of Jennifer Price. My mother. I hadn't seen her since I was a baby. My father never blamed her for leaving, but he took her secrets to his grave. Now, standing in front of me was a man holding a manila envelope that changed everything. Jennifer Price was dead. I expected a letter of apology or a mountain of debt. Instead, I inherited Weeping Tree Books. The store was only 15 minutes away, in a hidden courtyard across from a hole-in-the-wall Chinese restaurant. In the center of the yard stood a gnarled, ancient willow tree. Felt like it was watching me. Inside, the shop was a maze of yellowed ceilings and ugly green carpet. Felt like a giant filing cabinet. I headed for the staff-only door, hoping to find a piece of the woman who abandoned me. What I found was a claustrophobic living space. A twin bed, a mirror, and a tiny wrinkled photo of me as a baby. No laptop, no phone, no technology. And then, the dusty bell clanged. A young girl named Esme stood there in an old-fashioned dress. She didn't want a greeting. She wanted her order. When I told her the shop was closed, she pulled a razor-sharp blade from her apron. "I want my order," she hissed. I found it beneath the counter, a 90s slasher novel. As she took it, she gripped my wrist. Her fingers were ice-cold and unnaturally strong. "I wouldn't have hurt you," she whispered with a sickening smile. "I would have plunged this knife into my own throat and told them you did it. Do you know what they do to child murderers in prison?" She left, laughing. I ran to the door to call for help, but the floor, it stretched. No matter how fast I ran, the door stayed miles away. The carpet became an ocean of green and gray. I was a prisoner. The next morning, Osgood Mosby returned. He didn't come to help. He came to explain my sentence. "You're the bookkeeper now," he said, adjusting his tie. "The store will not permit you to exit." Another bookkeeper tried to break out. He failed. The Weeping Tree Books Trust Fund had a contract. 3 meals a day from the Chinese restaurant. Total isolation. "Don't anger the store," Osgood warned before vanishing. I explored the depths. The store was physically impossible. It expanded into rooms that shouldn't exist under ceilings that defied logic. I found sections labeled cryptozoology, non-Euclidean geometry, and alternate futures. And then, I found the book with my name on it. I picked up a blue book. It described me in that moment reading the book. It warned of a burning man behind me. I smelled charcoal. I felt heat. But when I turned, the aisle was empty. Then came the delivery. A box of special orders. The note said, "Stock before nightfall." I followed a thin red wire, a safety line, deep into the bowels of the shop. The books in the box began to scream. Literally. One titled "The Agony of Saint Honora" throbbed in my hands. In the esoteric hagiography section, a skin-bound tome flipped open. A raw-headed, crimson thing, a flayed monk, rose from the pages. It hissed sitter and skittered toward me on all fours. I slammed the book shut just as its skinless fingers reached for my throat. The regular customer with the cookbook left, but the silence he left behind was heavier. I realized the shop didn't just sell books. It traded in debt. I found a ledger behind the counter. It wasn't written in ink, but in what looked like dried salt. Every name in the book was crossed out except for 2. Jennifer Price and Benjamin Alexander Hearn. As I touched my name, the shelves nearby began to vibrate. A section labeled Lost Conversations appeared where the cookbooks used to be. I walked in, and suddenly, I could hear my father's voice, clear as day, coming from a shelf on the left. He was apologizing to a wall. "Sleep is a luxury I can't afford. Every time I close my eyes, the layout changes." I woke up on the 3rd night to find the staff room door opened into a balcony overlooking a cathedral made entirely of encyclopedias. A man was there, sitting on a throne of dictionaries. He called himself the architect. He told me he was the one who designed the stretching floors. He offered me a deal. If I could find the book of first breath, he would show me the exit. But he warned me, the book is guarded by the things that live in the shadows of fiction section. I ventured into the shadows of fiction. The air here smells like old wet paper and ink. I met a man who was literally two-dimensional. If he turned sideways, he disappeared. He was a former customer who had stayed past closing time. He told me that my mother didn't die. She translated. In this store, if you read a certain sequence of words, you become the story. He pointed to a book titled The Son of the Willow. My heart stopped. The cover was a painting of me, sitting behind the counter, looking exactly as I did now. The Chinese food from Osgood stopped coming. I went to the front window, screaming for help, but the courtyard was empty. The gnarled willow tree outside began to tap against the glass. Its branches weren't wood. They looked like long, gray fingers. I realized the tree feeds on the stories the bookstore digests. I found a hidden compartment under the floorboards containing my mother's old tea set. There was a note. Ben, don't eat the food they give you. It binds you to the carpet. Eat the pages of the botany section instead. The inventory of regret I did as the note said. I tore a page from a book about lilies and ate it. My vision cleared. The store's glamour faded. The ugly green carpet was actually made of thousands of woven hair strands. The staff-only room was a cage. I decided to do a full inventory. I found a section called Unsent Letters. Thousands of envelopes addressed to me, all from my mother. She had been writing to me every day for 20 years, but the store wouldn't let the mail leave. Each letter contained a single drop of blood. The red wire began to glow. I followed it back to the esoteric hagiography section. The Flayed Monk was back, but this time he wasn't attacking. He was kneeling. He told me that Osgood Mosby isn't a lawyer, he's a collector, for being known as the Great Librarian. To escape, I had to perform a ritual called the Final Chapter. It required 3 items: a tooth from the architect, a branch from the willow, and the heart of the book that contains my life. Osgood arrived for the Friday till emptying. I confronted him with my mother's letters. He laughed, and his face peeled back like a paperback cover, revealing a void of shifting letters and numbers. He wasn't human. He tried to shelve me, a process where he turns a person into a bookmark. We fought behind the counter. I managed to stab him with the scissors I used to open the delivery box. He didn't bleed. He leaked black ink that burned the floor. He retreated, but he took the red wire with him. I was now truly lost in the dark. Without the red wire, the bookstore turned into a literal forest. The shelves grew tall like redwoods, and the floor became soft like mulch. I encountered the scavengers, creatures made of cardboard and leather who hunt lost customers. I hid in the alternate futures aisle. I saw a version of myself where I stayed and became the architect. I saw another where I died in the warehouse. But in the corner, I saw a flickering light. It was my mother's ghost, holding a lantern made from a hollowed-out book. My mother spoke. She told me she had stayed in the store to keep the great librarian from reaching the outside world. The bookstore is a dam, holding back a flood of ancient, hungry ideas. She gave me the book of first breath. It wasn't a book. It was a mirror. You are the only story the store can't finish, she whispered. She told me to break the mirror in the center of the courtyard. But doing so would mean the bookstore would collapse with her inside. I fought my way back to the front. The architect and the scavengers tried to stop me. I used the ink-soaked scissors to rewrite the signs on the aisles, turning dead ends into exits. I reached the courtyard. The willow tree lashed out, trying to crush me. I looked into the mirror, the book of first breath, and saw my own potential. I smashed it against the trunk of the tree. The world screamed. The glass didn't break. The reality did. I woke up on the pavement of the courtyard. The bookstore was gone. In its place was an empty, weed-choked lot. In my hand was a single old-fashioned key and a note in my mother's handwriting. Run, Ben. Don't look back at the shelves.